Hello and welcome to Simplicity in Stocks. After a disappointing 2025, investors in the stock market will be keen to identify the companies and sectors that will do well this year. So, how to go about it? Well, this question highlights the importance of asset allocation over stock picking. If you can find the right sectors to allocate your funds, then individual stock selection can play a secondary role. In this video, we will examine three sectors to track in 2026. Please note that this video is for information purposes only. It is not a stock recommendation and should not be treated as such. There is no opinion or view on any stock covered herein. Number 1. Defense. Historically, India relied heavily on foreign countries for its defense needs. About 65 to 70% of our defense equipment was imported until 2018. However, this landscape has dramatically shifted, with around 65% of defense equipment now manufactured within India. This transformation reflects the country's commitment to self reliance. Moreover, the strength of India's defense industrial base, comprising 16 defense PSUs, several private companies, over 430 licensed companies, and about 16,000 MSMEs, has become quite robust. Defense exports already surged to a record high of 236.2 billion rupees in FY25. This was a growth of 12% over FY24. The aspiration is to achieve rupees 3 trillion worth of defense production by 2029, along with rupees 500 billion in exports. This will establish India as a global defense manufacturing power. The defense budget reached a record allocation of rupees 6.21 trillion in FY25, an increase of 4.7% over FY24. The expectations are high of a further hike in defense spending in the upcoming union budget. The government has also allocated rupees 1 trillion to deep tech firms in the form of very long-term low or zero interest loans. This was aimed at incentivizing industry to step up their R&D investments and develop cutting-edge technologies for the Indian Armed Forces. India has evolved from a largely import-dependent military force to one increasingly focused on self-reliance and indigenous production. Many defense companies, especially those in high-tech segments like sensors, radars, missiles, drones, etc., will benefit from this spending in the short term and long term. Here are some defense stocks you should have on your watch list. Number 2. Railways. Railway stocks have returned to the spotlight, and for good reason. Indian Railways has announced a modest passenger fare hike for the second time in FY26. This follows an earlier increase back in July last year. The other reason to be bullish on railway stocks is the upcoming union budget. The market expects a 10 to 12% increase in railway capital expenditure, taking the outlay to around 2.7 to 2.9 trillion rupees. The higher spending will support the next phase of railway modernization. This includes the rollout of 300 to 400 Vande Bharat sleeper trains and a potential doubling of allocation for the railway Kavach safety system. Here are some railway stocks you should have on your watch list. Number 3. Critical minerals, that is mining. Critical minerals have emerged as a key policy priority for the central government in recent years, given their strategic importance across clean energy, electronics, defense. India is currently lagging in both extraction and processing capabilities in this regard. The National Critical Mineral Mission (NCMM) has allocated rupees 163 billion to build a robust framework aimed at achieving self-reliance in the critical mineral ecosystem. The government has also cut customs duty to zero on 12 critical minerals, including cobalt powder and waste and scrap of lithium, lead, and zinc. India's clean energy transition is also heavily dependent on the availability of key minerals such as copper, cobalt, graphite, lithium, nickel, neodymium, and silicon, collectively referred to as energy transition critical minerals. Apart from these green technologies, critical minerals also play an important role in national defense, information technology, semiconductors, aviation, and space research. In the Union budget of 2026, the market expects sustained policy support and higher investments to this sector. With strong policy backing, rising domestic demand, and a focus on self reliance, companies operating in the critical mineral space should be on your watch list in 2026. Here are some stocks in the critical mineral space that you should have on your watch list. Well, this was a list of three sectors that we think should be on your watch list in 2026, but a fair warning here. Investors should not go overboard on any sectoral trend. Do not allocate most of your funds to any one sector. Ensure sufficient diversification of your portfolios. Do your due diligence before investing in any stock. Happy investing.